I'm now joined live from Kaduna State by the chairman of the Northern States Governors Forum, Governor Inuwa Yahaya. Governor Yahaya, good to see you and thanks for your time. Quite a robust conversation we understand you had earlier today with your colleague governors. First, quickly, let us in on the major talking point. Well, I think, yeah. Well, if you can hear me, I can hear you now. So I'll take that again quickly. It's about the big meeting which you had with your colleague governors, and we know it centers on security and on how best to make the region better for the people. But again, let's start from the big, very sad news about the unfortunate air bombing of people in Tundubiri.
Yeah, well, the real issue about the tragedy at Tundubiri is that the unfortunate thing is that several people died. We are talking of close to 100 people. And even before this time, there were several such cases across the states in the north. And that has become a source of concern. That is why we said unanimously, we must come and take a position and address this issue holistically, so that we'll be able to work in tandem with the federal government and the security agencies with a view to finding a lasting solution on over such issues. You know, Mr. President himself, represented by the Vice President, the Governor of Kaduna, and the traditional institutions in the north, and several, including the National Assembly, everybody that visited to see or commiserate with these people, always pleased that there should be a thorough investigation and that action is needed for any intentional. I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but we should try to avoid it. If it is a mistake, we should not be repeating the same mistake over time. And the people have already been along the lines of suffering. No social amenities, no facilities for them. And now with this attack, you know, more orphans, more widows, and more widows have been created to the extent that managing the soil is becoming it's going to be too difficult, and it's going to be very tasking even to the Kaduna State government. That is why there is need for action to be taken this time around, so that it will act as a deterrent against such occurrence in the future.
Well, you know, now that you've spoken, talking about the enormity of what this has thrown up to people in that region, specifically in Kaduna State, the orphans and the unemployment as well as poverty are also on the front burner. Help us make sense of what you and your colleagues are doing to ensure that perhaps the inequality that we have always seen in northern Nigeria is tackled head on. Well, Governor Inuwa Yahaya, I hope you can hear me, because I just asked if you've been able to speak with your colleague governors on the issue of helping bridge the gap between your people. Looks like we lost term there. There seemed to be a connection, glitch to Kaduna, where Governor Inuwa Yahaya is at the moment. We'll come back to him so that he can speak pretty much more on the meeting of the Northern Governors Forum, which held in Kaduna State, where top on the agenda, as you heard him earlier on, is the very unfortunate incident of the accidental bombing of people who converged for the Muslim festival of Maulud, where over 80 people have been killed. And by now, the state and the national government have said that they will investigate and ensure that if there's anyone that is culpable, it's brought to justice. I think I have Governor Inuwa back on track again. Well, apologies, we lost you there for a moment. Good to know that you're back. Quickly, let's see if we can do this before we'll let you go. It's about your people, and some of the conversations you also had is to look at how best you can tackle poverty, which is endemic, specifically in some northern cities.
Well, generally, the fortunes of the North, and in fact the whole of the country, but that of the North specifically, has nosedived over time. And there is need, especially after the pandemic and the recent, withdrawal of fuel subsidy, with the attendant cost of living associated with inflation and depreciation of the naira, has compelled us to look critically into several issues, but particularly those that relate to the economy, with a view to equally finding ways and means by which we can revamp the economy, especially through production, agricultural production and processing, and equally to link up with industrial development. The need to revive our industries, particularly agro-allied industries that abound in the North, so that opportunities will open up, and then life and economic activity will increase and prosperity will be spread to the people. All the states are really together, and we are going to see how we can align with the federal government and other development and donor partners to see that we overcome these challenges. Because the root cause of this insecurity is traced more to lack of economic engagement and poverty that is really bedeviling the zone that goes from head to toe. Virtually, there's nowhere that the economy of the people has not been affected in this quite a short while. And that's why we said we are looking for a concerted effort so that we can see how we can overcome that challenge.
Has there been any agreed plan on how to help the many children who are out of school at the moment, which I also understand is a big concern to you all?
Yeah, certainly. We individually as states, we have our strategy and plans, but the federal government itself has, through the World Bank, now facilitated the basic education and service delivery for all, and equally is supporting through other special projects funded by the World Bank, like the Agile, which is aimed at empowering and young girls so that they can go back to school and support their parents in a way that they will have the means for them to attend schools. And equally through the support that we have on ensuring security in the schools through Safe Schools program. Even today, we had a presentation from the Federal Ministry of Finance and Budget and Planning with regards to seeing how we could package and join together along the line between the local government, the states, and the federal government in a way that we can facilitate the onboarding of all the children back to school and supporting them to go through basic education at least.
And lastly, before I let you go, the economy of northern Nigeria should have by now a blueprint which many Nigerians will be excited to know if you and your colleagues have sat down to map out on how best to bring the region to winning ways. Is there any that you would like to share with us, if you will?
Yes, there is the binding force that joins the whole of our states is the New Nigeria Development Company, which had been existing for long and which has so many subsidiaries into manufacturing, commercial and marketing and several other economic endeavors within this. We deliberated on that, and we are looking for ways to revamp it. But principally, We have a Marshall Plan, like the Governor Kaduna said. The only thing is we must put action into our words and plans. The previous reports that had been lying idle, we agreed to dust them off and see that we put them to use so that the economic activity will be triggered and prosperity will spread to the people. That is part of our discussion for today.
One big takeaway there is put words to action. Governor Inuwa Yahaya, Chairman, Nigeria Governors, Northern Governors Forum, many thanks for speaking with us tonight on Newsnight.